welcome to another Sports Static Sunday Football Week 4. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, and of course, not to mention the co-host here, Joe. How is it going?
It's going great. How you doing?
It's going good, man. Week 4. Hey, there's a lot of games here. I don't know where the upset alert's going to come out, but there is a lot of potential games here that have that upset alert written all the way over it. So we're getting to know a little bit about these games, but then again, there's questions unanswered because there's a lot of starters out. So how about that Danny Jones? How about Danny Jones?
Hey, you said his name first. Now they're all calling him Danny Jones.
I told you his name was Danny, and I made sure I let everybody know because Daniel and I expressed it clearly. Are you going to go with Daniel Jones or Danny Jones? And now they got something else going for him. I don't even know what his nickname is. It's Danny something, though.
It's Danny Jones, threw 4 touchdown passes. He did really well. I'm actually surprised because Shaq Barrett got at him the whole game. He got a couple strip sacks, but Danny Jones showed up. I liked his confidence. I liked his mindset. I liked his moxie. He played really well. I liked it.
Yeah, and look what happened at the end. But then if we're going to talk about it, of course,
yeah.
The way we're going to talk about it is we're going to talk about it. Was it Danny Jones or was it the poor defense for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that couldn't stop a rookie quarterback in his first start, Joe?
Right, yeah. You definitely have to put some of the blame on that secondary, even though they are depleted right now. There are a couple injuries on that secondary, but you have to put some of the blame on the secondary. You have to put some of the blame on the defensive coordinator. And look, Danny Jones had a great game. I picked him up in fantasy. That's how I just became a fan, so I like it.
And what about the fact that you had, again, we're talking about Danny Jones did great, but why, if you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and if you believe in your team, are you trying to set up, whether you got time on the clock to throw a couple passes to Evans in the end zone, you got time on the clock. So then if you've got time on the clock, what are you doing and why in the world are you not taking a couple shots? Instead, you're trying to set up for a field goal with your rookie kicker, Joe.
Look, they didn't have any confidence in Jameis. He threw 1 interception, and then they lost all confidence in him. Byron Leftwich was very conservative after he threw that interception. We were just running the ball. It didn't work. We deserved to lose.
I'll second that with you right there on a deserving to lose situation. But, hey, that's the NFL, and when you get a rookie quarterback to come in and kick the butt, then you know what's up. And every team should know that. Now, I haven't even looked, to tell you the truth, Joe, what's the situation with Barkley?
Oh, Saquon Barkley, he's going to be out at least 8 weeks. It hurts my fantasy team, definitely hurts other fantasy owners out there. Hopefully he comes back stronger.
So he's out 8 weeks, and what is it, a high ankle sprain or something like that?
Yeah, something's wrong with his ankle. I think it's a sprain.
So actually, he did get off in some sense in the way a little bit lucky if it's just an ankle sprain, because when you seen him on the crutches and that splint's like, uh-oh.
Right. Yeah, he definitely came away fine. So a high ankle sprain isn't that big of a deal. He'll come back even stronger.
Questionable today. We're moving around through a couple things on the questionable stuff, but questionable today was Mr. Stafford. I had on my show last year, Joe, one time somebody tell me that Stafford was soft.
No,
do you
not at all.
know this guy, how consistent he's been? I'm telling you, consistent. I think like the last 8 years. It's ridiculous. And there's only a couple quarterbacks that's got more consistent starts in a row right now than he does. He is not soft. Back, hip injury going on with him. He was listed as questionable. He is starting today with the injury.
Yeah, he's not soft at all. If you guys actually want to look up Matthew Stafford mic'd up on YouTube, he was actually rated the #1 guy to listen to in the NFL. He's very enthusiastic, very motivating. So he's not soft at all. And the Lions just beat the Eagles. They're 2-1.
The Lions did just beat the Eagles. Speaking of the Eagles, Eagles 34, Packers 27. Joe, talk to me.
Well, John, like I said, and I was right again, Jordan Howard had a great game. 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns for Jordan Howard. Carson Wentz played well. Alshon Jeffrey played well. Look, the Packers, I love Aaron Rodgers, but I think the play calling in the red zone was kind of suspect. You guys should at least ran the ball 1 time. And again, maybe another deserving loss.
I mean, you look at it, and when you look at, the Lambeau Field history and wins and losses that come into that place, you got to think, and everybody really was doing it. I mean, if you were placing any bets on this game, you're thinking, okay, it's home field, Aaron Rodgers. We got to give home field advantage. You give at least 3 to the Green Bay Packers. But late in the game, you're right. Look what happens late in the game. And I didn't think that defense would go soft. By no means did I think that the defense would go soft. But, man, the Eagles were looking pretty good. But we always come back to this, Joe, and this is where I say we're at that point in the season where we really don't know yet. Was that the poor Packer defense, or is that offense with the Eagles really, really starting to get back to that MVP type year that Wentz was having prior to his injury? Right.
Well, we have to remember that the Eagles have a top offensive line, so that I knew they were going to destroy them on the ground. It could have been the Packers defense, even though the Packers defense has been looking pretty good as of late. You also have to put some of the blame on the defensive coordinator. The formation was really weird. If you actually analyze that game, they were running like 3 linebackers. I don't think they should have done that, but yeah, I mean, it was an exciting game nonetheless.
I couldn't agree with you more. It was an exciting game, and there's a lot of exciting games happening today. And I'm going to go through that real quick, Joe. We're going to do the quick rundown of all the games, and then once we do the rundown of all the games, we'll go back and hit on each one of these games. So let's do the quick rundown here. These are all the 1 o'clock games coming at you guys. 1 o'clock games. Titans at the Falcons. Redskins at the Giants. Chargers at the Dolphins. Raiders at the Colts. Panthers at the Texans. Chiefs at the Lions. Browns at the Ravens. Patriots at the Bills.
Go Bills.
Buccaneers, here comes your 4 o'clock games, the 4:05 games. The Buccaneers at the Rams. Seahawks at the Cardinals. 4:25 games. Vikings at the Bears. There's a divisional bang game. That's a huge game right there, guys. And I'm speaking divisional purposes, of course. Jaguars at the Broncos. Here's a game for you. Cowboys at the Saints.
Good
Come
game.
on. These New Orleans Saints, their fans are going to get behind this quarterback. And then, of course, the 8:15 Monday game is one I'm really not that interested in. The Cincinnati Bengals are at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Joe, what is up?
Hey, there's good games. I'm going to call a couple upsets. Bring that upset alert on, John.
You're calling the upset
Yeah, upset
right now.
alerts.
Upset alert coming from Joe, guys. Here we go. Joe, talk to me.
Upset of the week today. Buffalo Bills take down Tom Brady and the Patriots. I know all my friends are Patriots fans, and I don't like Patriots fans. I never have. So I hope you guys call in today, because you're losing this week.
All of your friends are Patriot fans. You're not saying a few.
Well,
are they
they're all
from Boston?
well, they're bandwagons.
So that's interesting to me. Is that I'm sure. Then let's just go ahead and think about it in this way. And if they are bandwagons, all your friends, and I'm telling you right now, Joe, I don't know your friends, but I'm going to call them out right now. I'm calling them out right now.
Yeah.
And guys, if you guys got something to say about it, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. A very rare thing for me to do here right now. If you guys got to dispute what I'm saying, I'll open the phone line up here right now. If you're going to dispute what I'm saying, Joe, is that fair? Is that fair,
That's
Joe?
fair. Call in.
Okay, because Joe, you're telling me that these guys are Boston fans, correct?
Yeah.
And are they from Boston, Joe?
A couple of them.
A couple, but the rest of them?
Bandwagon.
Okay, so let me just throw this out there and make a calculated guess. Would they happen to be New York Yankee fans?
Yes.
Are they from New York?
A couple.
And the rest?
Who
Sad.
knows?
Sad. Would they happen to be Golden State Warrior fans on the other side of the damn map?
John, is that even a question? Of course they are.
And are they from Cali? Are they from Cali?
Hell no.
Interesting to me. This is bizarre. It's bizarre. That is a classic. Joe, you know what I wish I had right now?
A beer?
No, a graphic. And we got to get producer Dave to work on this for us. I want a graphic of a wagon. There's the new one right there, Joe. We need a graphic of a wagon to come rolling across the screen, Joe.
Let's do it.
And guess what's going to be on the back of that wagon?
Hey, you know what we should have on the back? A clown. A bozo. That's what we should have.
We will, but we're also on the back of that wagon. We have to have a band playing, Joe, because they're on
Right.
the bandwagon.
Smart.
Producer Dave is not in the studio with us today. He's catching a little extra Z's after holding down the fort while I was up into the Great Lakes area. But here's the shout out to Producer Dave. Producer Dave, we need a wagon. And not the Chuck wagon, okay? That was the great commercial for dog food back in the day. We need a wagon, the bandwagon. And we need a band playing on that wagon. And we do need a clown somewhere along it with a capital B for bozo. We need that clown. Guys, bandwagon people. Not just your friends, Joe. I'm not picking on your friends because they're everywhere. But I'm calling them out. You hear me right now? Bandwagon people. The phone lines are open for you right now, strictly on that topic. Admit yourself. The first part of recovery is that you admit that you have a problem. Okay? Admit it. Tell me you're on the bandwagon and tell me why you're on the bandwagon. I mean, you know, Joe, you and me both have something in common. We go underdogs.
All day.
But there could be a little bit of a taste of bandwagon stuff going on here and there.
Not for me.
Joe, I'm checking your pulse. and all, you know, everything's good. All right, so if we get any calls, you guys will go live immediately. I will not screen your call. Please make sure you refrain from bringing any politics into the show, I said. You dig what I'm picking up on there? Are you picking up what I'm throwing down, Joe?
Hey, no Kaepernick.
No, we don't go there. Keep everything under control. All right, so with those being brought up, Joe, you took one of my... You took my freaking upset of the week, Joe.
Sorry about that,
Joe,
John.
my upset of the week was going to be the Buffalo Bills
Yep.
tearing in to the New England Patriots. Why, Joe?
Hey.
Tell me why you think that this has got a chance of not just because they're both 3-0. We're talking about Buffalo Bills going against the New England Patriots. The only advantage to the Buffalo Bills is that they're at home, but there's no snow. This is late in the season.
Yeah, I like that defense. I like their blitz packages. Their defensive schemes are really smart. Even though it's hard to pick against Tom Brady because he's extremely smart too, I just believe in Buffalo today.
And, I'll tell you, Joe, believing in Buffalo is the same thing with me. And it's not just because I want to see the New England Patriots lose. Those of you who followed the show last year know that I picked upsets for the Patriots. I picked 3 of them through the year, and I was 2-3 on those upsets. Okay? 2-3.
Yep.
So I picked 3 upsets on the Patriots happened to be involved because, yeah, when somebody like the Bills or the other teams I picked, Detroit Lions, beat the beat the Patriots last year, the Miami Dolphins, and whatever else it is that you pick that upset. But think about this. That is an upset. And that is a classic upset. So I went 2-3 with them, not because, but because of what you just said, Joe. I seen the game for what it was. I seen the matchup for what it was.
Yep.
And now, Joe, here's the thing. Would you agree with me that teams playing New England have a little bit something extra under the skin, under the helmet, and they got a little bit more drive to beat the Patriots?
Oh, definitely. And you're gonna see that drive today. You'll see that fire.
And that's what I think too. So it's not that I'm just looking. I look at the matchup, Joe, and when I look at the matchup, I'm thinking, okay, well, the matchup is good. I'm looking at it like, hey, I think what it is you're getting a little bit extra from these people that they want to beat it. You got a young quarterback who's playing well. You got a young defense that's playing well. If there is a moment and a chance for that upset, it will be the game today. Buffalo at home wins the game and takes first place in the division against the New England Tom Brady, Bill Belichick Patriots. And that's how I refer to them, Joe.
I completely agree. And I think, let's make another bold prediction. Josh Allen is going to run in for a game-winning touchdown, just like Danny Jones did to the Bucs. Let's just put that out there.
So you're going to compare that one to what he did to the Buccaneers? Or, come on now.
I just believe that, Josh Allen's going to have a lot of rushing yards today.
Would you rather have Josh Allen starting quarterback for the Buccaneers or Jameis Winston?
You already know. I'm taking the crab legs all day.
You're Jameis.
Jameis, baby.
So do you think that the Buffalo Bills would rather have Allen or Winston as quarterback? I mean, that's a fair question.
Jameis, baby. Jameis.
Jameis Winston is 1 quarter away from having a disastrous game, Joe.
Hey, he had a good game. He just made one mistake. That was a bad mistake, but he had a good game.
He did have a good game, but the only reason he's having a good game is because of the fact of exactly what you pointed out. Credit to you on the great point out was the matchup with Evans and the defensive back that was guarding him, and Jameis could throw the ball up there. If you get the ball within 6 feet radius of Evans, you're going to get Evans catching the ball.
Yeah, I agree.
That's why he had a good game.
Maybe.
The verdict is still out, guys. Let's move along here. And let's just go ahead, Joe, and start breaking them down. And I'm going to leave you with a little bit of Titans and Falcons preview, Joe.
Yep.
And I'm going to go grab our pad of paper so I can mark this down and hold us accountable, Joe.
Let's do it.
So, Joe, the Titans are visiting the Falcons. I happen to think this is I really do. I think this is a tough matchup, both teams here, Joe.
I don't know about that one. I think the Falcons are going to win because the Titans, they never can really seem to get anything going on offense. It seems that they don't have trust in Marcus Mariota, and they need to run the ball, and they haven't been running the ball with Derrick Henry. And Derrick Henry is a monster. He is huge, 6'3", 245, 50 pounds, just runs through a wall, and they're not giving him the ball. You need to feed the beast. Matty Ice did real well with Julio Jones. Julio Jones caught a back of the end zone touchdown. Devontae Freeman came alive. Devontae Freeman, he did well. And yeah, I just believe the Falcons are going to do well this game, and I think they're going to beat them. I think Austin Hooper gets a couple touchdowns today in the red zone. And look, I believe Devontae Freeman's going to do well on the ground. I think he's going to have over 100 rushing yards. And yeah, I believe the Falcons, even though I don't want them to win because they're in the Buccaneers division, I got them winning today.
Hey, I'll tell you right now, when I look at this game, I believe the same thing, and I believe I gave some fantasy advice yesterday. And I really, with some of my advice and what I did, I believe as well that Freeman will have a good running day today. So with that one, I'm on the same page with you. And you know what? They are in the division of the Buccaneers, and everybody knows that we are in the Tampa Bay area. So, when at all possible, we like to go. Joe a little bit more than me pulls for the whole team, home team. Me, I'm more thinking about the home team. Yes, home team. Yes, I will pull for the Buccaneers. But when it comes to making a pick, Joe, and when I'm ready to make that pick, there's a lot of things I'm looking at, and even so, if I'm behind the team, is the organization and decisions they make.
Yeah. I mean, many of the issues have been off the field issues. Jameis definitely needs to clean that up. I think he has a little bit. So you just clean that up and do your job on the field,
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should be undefeated right now, but things don't go all the way as how you plan.
Not when you got as many turnovers as that team has seen, and that has cost us wins. And then, I'm not going to put the loss on the kicker. I'm putting the loss on the head coach, Bruce Arians, and on the offensive coordinator. But hey, the offensive coordinator is under Bruce Arians. So if I'm really going to put the blame on anybody, I'm going to put the blame that you play to win the game. You play to win the game. And I'm sick and tired of watching these teams come down where they have momentum, they have a drive going. You've exposed a mismatch, of course, with the Evans situation. And so why in the world you would only be thinking and settling that I'm going to go for a field goal? When you look at that and you look at what was happening with the kicker and everything else, I think it was an extremely poor coaching situation. But back to the Titans and Falcons. Falcons have an opportunity. And I said this with the Buccaneers too, Joe. And I know what you're thinking, Joe, when it comes to the Buccaneers. But what I said, right now, our division, okay? Carolina Panthers, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the New Orleans Saints that everybody could have been a Super Bowl favorite, right?
Yeah.
And then you have the Tampa or the Falcons, and this division is for the taking right now. So, Joe, I believe you're right with these Falcons. I'm also going with the Falcons today. So Titans at the Falcons, and the Falcons for both Joe and I. Redskins are at the Giants, Joe.
Danny Jones, baby. I believe in him now.
Danny!
I believe in your guy, John. The Redskins, can we all agree that Josh Norman is overrated? I mean, really. He got paid so much money. The guy's getting burned every week. He's overrated. I don't believe in the Redskins at all. Danny Jones all the way.
I'll tell you. What I did not want, I'm going to put this out there for the record right now. I did not want Eli Manning on the bench. I did not want that. I said it on the show. I said that I think it's a play calling thing. You need to understand on what plays your quarterback is good at. And I say this all, Joe, how many times you heard me say this?
All the time.
I throw it back at the coaches and the coordinator.
Yep.
You know who your team is. Bill Belichick knows who his team is every time he designs the plays for not only where he takes these guys that were bust somewhere else, he knows what they're good at. He utilizes them in that purpose in his whole team. And, of course, who he's playing week in, week out. So, I mean, I'm that guy. I think about it. I throw it back. I did not want to see Eli Manning on the bench in the end of his career. I think they needed to alter some of the plays they were doing with him. Quick nickel and dime drops like they do a lot with some of the older quarterbacks, but no names mentioned. But it's a nickel and dime thing, and I think that they're very good at it, and I think that that's what they should have done with Eli Manning. But here we are, Joe. Now we've got Danny Jones.
Yeah. Yeah, and I completely agree with you, John. I think they should have nickel and dime with Eli Manning, but I like Danny Jones. His confidence is through the roof. It seems like that man oozes confidence. He's athletic, which is surprising, because usually when you see a white quarterback, he's usually not athletic.
Now,
Let's be real here.
Hang on here.
Well, let's be real here.
White boys can't jump or something like this. Now, I don't think. I'm going to tell you something right there. There are plenty of damn white guys who are athletic. Let's not make this if you're white or you're black or what color you are or where you are.
Let's be real
athletic.
here.
You might have a point where you might be able to say he's not as fast and not as fast as a Jackson.
Yeah, well,
or as
not.
a, But now, come on now, Joe.
Well, I'm just being honest.
And I heard you.
But yeah, I like him. So he's athletic. He could sling the ball. I got the Giants.
And I'm just gonna say it right here, right now. I believe in Danny Jones, and not so much am I gonna pick the Giants today because I believe in Danny Jones, because it depends on who they're playing. I believe in them today because they're playing the Redskins. And Joe, with the Redskins,
yeah.
I mean, should they be starting Haskins? What's going on here?
I think they should. And I said that in preseason. I said, look, Dwayne Haskins going to start. He was picked way too high. I think he was picked, 16th in the draft. He should start. He should start. He should get the start.
So what's the deal there? I mean, why? What is the deal here? What are they seeing that he's not mature enough? He's not ready? Has he not gotten the playbook? I mean, what is it with the kid? And why aren't you starting him?
They're probably just trying to, keep mentoring him and just learn under the current quarterback. So he probably just keep Dwayne Haskins, just keep teaching him, and maybe later on in the season he'll start.
I hear you. So here we go. Chargers at the incredible Miami Dolphins that everybody's accusing of blatantly tanking the season.
I mean, that's probably the worst team I've ever seen in my life. I know a couple high school teams that could beat the Miami Dolphins, but I definitely have the Chargers in this one. Phillip Rivers, Melvin Gordon's coming back, so that's good. I don't know how much of the bulk of the carries he's going to get. I would still start Austin Eckler in your league, but maybe next game definitely start Melvin Gordon. I have the Chargers in that one.
You got the Chargers in that one. I as well have the Chargers in this one. And I guess so what you're saying is Gordon's going to be starting next week?
I think he will be, yeah.
He finally came out of the hole. Dude needed some cash. That mortgage payment is not. It's not an easy payment. So my man needed some cash. And I am also taking the Chargers on that one, Joe. So far, Joe, you and I are right down the board here.
That's how it normally goes.
I'm going to gain some ground on you here, and might even start to pull away here. We're going to have a couple games here today. Last week we were within a game.
Right.
We were within the game, so we've been that way pretty much throughout it. We've been within a game, so we're gonna see how that pans out here. The Raiders. I mean, and this right here could be one of our differences right
probably.
here. Raiders against the spoken highly of Colts and their quarterback Brissett that Joe talks about week in, week out. How about when the Raiders come to town and face this guy, Joe?
Yeah, I got the Colts winning this one. Jacoby Brissett is he's calm, cool, and collected. He really is. They nickel and dime him, and then you have a solid running back in the backfield, Marlon Mack, T.Y. Hilton, a really solid offensive line as well. I think the Colts win this game.
I'm looking for that game where the Raiders put it together. I believe in Carr as a quarterback. I believe he's a good quarterback. I'm looking for that game where they're going to put it together, and this is that part of that season that I talk about. It can be so hard because you don't know when you're going to get that game. everybody in the NFL has the potential for greatness at a certain moment. So wherever that greatness comes. And to me, it's coming down to what the defense and the defensive scheme against week in, week out, each team they face. How is that Colts secondary going to stop Carr from completing and threading the needle on some of these passes? And you know it can go deep.
Yeah, you're right. I do think Carr has a good game, but and also injury update: Darius Leonard's out, one of the top young linebackers in the NFL. Derek Carr is going to have a good game, but I just think the Colts have way too much firepower.
They've got firepower, and it seems that they got a quarterback that is running the offense. So that to their favor for sure. Tyrell Williams is the first Raiders player with a reception for a touchdown in each of the first 3 games of the season since Mervin Fernandez in '89. This guy's I know, Joe, I know you're there. And you're like, who is this guy?
I don't know who that is.
And so today he's looking to go 4 games in a row, 4 touchdowns for a record with the Raiders, and potentially the momentum, Joe, that goes into the Colts and slaps him on the mouth. You know the Colts have 1 loss. They're 2-1. They need this game. The Raiders are 1-2. I've said this before, Joe, and I'm going to say it again. The Raiders organization and where they're going with all these picks they've had and all the moves they made starts next year in Vegas, the 2020 season. That's what they're building for. That's why Gruden got a 10-year, $100 million contract.
Yeah, and like you, I really enjoy watching Coach Gruden coach. I love watching him on Mic'd Up, on Red Zone. He's very, very entertaining.
He is entertaining, and he was great. He was great on Monday Night Football.
Yep.
I mean, I think they took one on the chin when they lost him, but he was great with ESPN, and I've liked him ever since, man. I even liked him in his first go around with the Raiders. I liked him then, and then of course, Joe, I liked him most when he came to Tampa and got us a Super Bowl.
Yep.
And how was that?
That was great, but we also had an amazing defense in 2003.
Yeah.
We had Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks, Rondé Barber, John Lynch. We had a very good defense.
We had a great defense the year before that didn't go to a Super Bowl win.
Yeah.
We had a great defense the year before that didn't go to a Super Bowl win.
Well, I think because John Gruden got rid of Keyshawn Johnson. Got rid of... Keyshawn Johnson, great receiver, but he had an ego that kind of, it disconnected the locker room, and John Gruden let him go, and then we won the Super Bowl.
I believe it's got a lot of putting all the pieces together, and a lot of times he's criticized, and I don't want to go back into the whole thing in the Buccaneers until we actually get there. But there's a lot of pieces to this thing and how it works, and there's a certain stance I take on it. When it comes to, really when it comes down to who won the Super Bowl and how they won the Super Bowl. I'm going back to the schedule here, guys. The next game we're looking at here is going to be, by the way, I didn't tell you I'm taking the Colts in that game. Panthers are at the Texans. Not the Panthers we thought we were going to see this year, Joe. We definitely did not think this was going to be the Panthers team we were looking at. But there's still some good pieces there with the Panthers. They're traveling into the Texans, Joe. And the Texans, I don't know, Joe. Tell me. They're 2-1.
Yeah, the Texans, the big thing about the Texans, they can't protect Deshaun Watson. And that's why I'm predicting that I don't think he makes it through the season.
No.
How will the guy make it through the season with the offensive line isn't good? They can't protect him. And if they can't protect him, I think the Texans will lose this game, even though I believe that they're going to win the game today.
Now, that was a little bit of goofy, crazy, wild stuff there, Joe.
Yeah.
You're saying the Panthers can win the game, but you're not going to say they're going to win this game.
Yeah, they could win the game because Kyle Allen looks good. But I just think Deshaun Watson is a really good quarterback, and DeAndre Hopkins with J.J. Watt, I just believe in the Texans. If they protect him, they're going to win.
Can they stop, if McCaffrey goes off today, can they stop the run and little dump passes? Can they do that?
Well, that's the thing that the defensive coordinator has to do. You have to stop McCaffrey. That's the main thing. That's literally the only guy you have to stop. So it's not very hard to beat the Panthers.
Okay. And that's a real good point, Joe, because that guy is a weapon.
Yeah.
And he's a weapon when you put the ball in his hands, however the ball gets in his hands. The guy's a weapon.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, he's top running back in fantasy. So he's really good. Really good.
I agree with you. I really agree with you. I really don't like the fact that when you have a quarterback with such talent, it's blatantly obvious how many hits the guy's taken, how many more he's taken than every other quarterback, that you're not protecting your franchise quarterback, the guy that's going to have the most potential in your near future to take you to the promised land, where you haven't invested in the protection of this guy. I mean, I don't get it. And sorry to say it, no jinxing going on here. I don't see how a guy taking that many hits can make it through the season either, Joe.
Right. Yeah, completely agree. Maybe by week 9 he's out. I feel bad for him. I really do.
I do too, and I hope that what it is that if he's out, it's not something that puts him out for the season. Like he's just banged up, wear and tear, and he needs that week to. And I haven't looked to see when the bye week comes for the Texans, but I think that the bye week for the Texans is huge for them if it comes later in the season, because it's going to be that extra week that he actually needs in a tub of ice.
Yeah,
the guy's going to need to be in a tub of ice, Joe.
Definitely, he needs that week to recover. And
Joe, are you sponsored by Coke? That's a
hey. If Coke is watching this right now, you better sponsor me. Put this beautiful face on there. I'm telling you, I drink Coke all the time.
But do you enjoy?
I love Coke.
Because your T-shirt.
Enjoy Coke.
That's what you're. And I'll tell you, I haven't had one of those soda pops in a long time, Joe. But you're a promoter of these guys right now.
Hey, free promotion.
I know you're telling them, hey, if you guys want to sponsor, but I'm telling you guys right now, you owe me a paycheck. Okay, I mean, I'm not even going to play around right now. Look at me. You see any logos anywhere like that? You got to pay me. I'm like one of the NFL players. Oh, you got to pay me. Kidding. If Joe likes the soda pop Coke, but he wants to sponsor you, that's his thing. That's his gig.
Yeah.
Joe, it goes good with pizza.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely.
It goes good with pizza.
And wings. And jalapenos.
You can't forget about the nachos with the jalapenos. Don't forget about the 3
Hot.
shredded cheese. You gotta love it. Guys, I'm taking the Texans. Joe's taking the Texans. I haven't even gotten the chance to cruise around here and engage with our peeps, we call them.
Oh yeah, what are
I
they
haven't
saying?
had a chance to go in and engage with our peeps. I'm going to take a quick look here right now. Well, a couple of people liking it, but a couple of people a little bit shy to come flat out and tell me yo and speak your mind. So we've got nothing really happening as far as people coming in here and speaking their mind. So we're going to go right back at it. Next game of our Sunday football is going to be, here it is, Joe, the Chiefs at Ford Field with the Detroit Lions, Joe.
John, you don't know how bad I want to pick the upset in this one.
I know.
I want to pick it real bad, but
You already got your upset of the week.
hey, but I can't go against Patrick Mahomes. Might be the best quarterback we've ever seen, ever. Yeah, bold statement, but I wow, special.
Joe, let's take a walk back in time. As a matter of fact, let's just go ahead. Let's just go ahead and bust out the crystal ball.
Yeah.
Quiet, everybody, please. Let me look into my crystal ball. Looking into the crystal ball. And what do I see? I'll tell you what I see, Joe. Wait a second. I see your uncle in a conversation with me where I asked your uncle to just push me over that thin edge that I was riding on. Yeah. I asked your uncle, a Detroit fan, mind you, Joe, I asked your uncle, give me just that little bit of a reason to call these Detroit Lions for the upset. He did not do it, Joe.
Nope.
And it was an upset. And I should have went with my heart, but it wasn't on my sleeve. Now, looking through the crystal ball this week, thinking about when I should have taken him, I'm looking at one thing showing up in my crystal ball right now, Joe. I see the biggest tailgate party I have ever seen in Detroit. And it's because somebody, and it was an NFL player, said that when you went to Detroit, the upset was always ready to happen because it was so dead in that place. You could hear a pin drop, and that teams got caught off guard because there was no fire in the place. It was so lame in there, so quiet. People were just sitting there that you thought you were at a scrimmage. And that's what's going on with the crystal ball right now, is that I'm seeing the Detroit fans I grew up with in the Pontiac Silverdome that would tailgate party and have freaking tackle football games in the parking lot of the Pontiac Silverdome. And I will tell you right now, in my era when we were in there and we were watching number 20, Barry Sanders, making people spin around in circles, getting dizzy because they don't know where this cat went. I'm telling you right now, that place was on fire. We were waving around white towels, and the Pontiac Silverdome was crazy and wild. Today, what you're going to see in Detroit, and I see it right now in my crystal ball, I ain't seeing nothing but a bunch of alcoholic beverages, and I'm seeing some brats, I'm seeing some burgers, I'm seeing Nerf. I said it, Nerf football's passed around, and when I'm looking through this crystal ball right now, Joe, I'm telling you, when I'm looking at it, Joe, I'm seeing something that is crystal clear to me. How dare you tell me you could hear a pin drop in Ford Field? And I don't know, because I haven't been to that field, but I grew up with the Detroit Lions and the Pontiac Silverdome, and for somebody to come out and say every team walks in there think it's a scrimmage, that's why they get beat there, I'm thinking, wow, you better watch out for Detroit. I'm just put this out there right now to the Detroit fans. I don't know which one of yous are going to these Detroit games, but you better scratch down a little bit. You better think about what you represent when they come out of the NFL and say that teams come in there falling asleep and all of a sudden they blink twice. They thought it was a scrimmage and they're behind and it's the fourth quarter. There's not enough time to come back at. Joe, can you hear me loud and clear?
John, let me tell you something, John. That was quite the rant. But I think your crystal ball might be a little broken. I'm not going to lie. The Lions ain't winning this one, baby. They ain't winning this one.
Are you sure, Joe?
Chief Mahomes.
Wow. You know, I like that, Chief Mahomes. I mean, but, guys, and Joe, I'm going to ask you first. I'm going to make sure it's all clear right here on Sports Static right here with my co-host, Joe.
Yeah.
Joe, is it okay if I set this game to the side and come back to it?
Let's do it. Let's do that.
All right, let me set this game to the side. Because, Joe, I'm just assuming, Joe, that you're just, by what you said right now, is that you're going KC on this one. Chief Mahomes.
Chief Mahomes.
Is it even going to be close?
I think it is.
Okay. So, I will tell you that I also gave a little more fantasy. Joe, I know you're the fantasy guy, okay? I know it. And I've been getting calls lately on fantasy stuff. And so I've been trying to dip into it, Joe. Okay? I gave a little fantasy advice that you want to go with Kerryon Johnson today, the running back in Detroit, that you want to actually start this guy. I'm telling you right now, little bit of what I saw in the crystal ball is that the running game in Detroit goes off today. Goes off. And it's going to soften up that secondary that's going to have to come up. They're going to have to come up the secondary to stop Kerryon Johnson. Okay? And guess what's going to happen?
Stafford's going deep.
Say it again, Joe.
Stafford's going deep.
And guys, those of you that haven't followed Detroit football and Stafford, if you put Stafford on a lot of these teams that are good every year and they got defenses and they got a team built around them, and you could put Stafford on any one of those championship teams and you would have a ring.
Hey, let me say it a third time. Stafford's going deep.
I like it. And take that to the bank right there, guys. Stafford's going deep.
Yeah.
So, thank you, Joe, for letting me come back to this game because I haven't picked my upset of the week yet, and I'm not so sure. But I'm calling like I did last time to see if we got some Detroit fans that find some valid reasons to take me over the edge. And it's not like I'm not calling an upset. It's the Kansas City Chiefs in Detroit. This is an upset of all upsets, Joe.
This is a big upset, man. I guarantee you this, Chiefs fans will be real upset if they lose this one.
There's another potential graphic, Joe, that we can get is the crybaby one. Joe, I haven't thought about that yet.
Well, we need to put a bozo and
we need a wagon with a band on it.
Yeah.
And now we need go for the crybaby.
A little whiny baby.
That was good. I like it. So we need that. And you know what I think we also need, Joe? And I mean, I'm saying this. We need little tiny, producer Dave, I hope we need little tiny trophies we can give out to the losers.
Yeah, the loser trophy.
Yeah.
Just tell you, you're a loser. Here you go.
There's
you're
your
a
little
loser.
Trophy. You all get a trophy, stand in line, but it's only about this big. And I'm going to find that for you, okay?
Oh.
It's only that big, and it has an L on it. You got to put glasses on like me to see the L. But you know what it stands for in capital letters, right, Joe?
Loser.
Wow. You got down and real with your loser. I like it, Joe. And, Joe, can you give me the crybaby thing one more time? We're going to find that? Man, I might just pre-record you doing that.
Hey,
Joe, I might pre-record you doing that music.
Let's do it.
Okay. That's good. Guys, I'm going to write it down, okay? But I'm coming back to it. Chiefs, Lions, I'm writing it down. And, Joe, you give me permission to come back to this, correct?
I give you permission.
Because I'm looking for, you know what I'm looking for? I'm looking for Detroit Lions fans to take me over that edge. And I know some of them that follow and watch the show, and I've never known, Joe, Detroit peeps to be shy. But damn, you never know it until you see this, that there is so many shy people, you know, they're not shy until you put a camera in front of them.
You know, it's weird to me, John. It's really weird to me that you guys need to call on. You're not videotaped. It's
Why?
just an audio recording.
I agree with you. Why aren't we getting people to call the show? I mean, you know what it is, Joe. Joe, here it is right there. Yeah, guys, Joe, you're not shy.
No.
Did you guys ever see, and take it as this, Joe came in here on his first show right out of the gate. Did he seem shy to you? Look at this guy. I mean, that is not a shy guy right there. All right? That is not shy. Guys, you have fun. We're talking football, and I want to remind everybody what this show's about and where it came from, where it was birthed from. Where the show actually was born was in the bar and grills It was there where everybody's sitting on a bar stool or in a booth or in a living room and they're talking sports. And most of the time, you're getting more raw analytics than you do from some of these network sports shows. And that's where it was birthed. The show is from the fans. That's you. And it's coming back to the fans. And that's us, right, Joe? Back to the fans. Joe, and then it's going back at them. Throw it back at them. It's coming back to you, the fans. That's what this show's about, guys. So do not be shy. Let the uppercut. Let the uppercut flow. Don't be shy. Joe, can I get an uppercut from you? That was a...
Hey, you don't want to see me in the ring, John.
No, that was a Tyson. That was a bob and weave.
I'll tell you what, I'm Golden Gloves, baby.
Golden Gloves. That was a bob and weave classic Tyson uppercut that was usually followed by a capital KO. I appreciate your enthusiasm, Joe.
You're welcome.
I mean, I appreciate your enthusiasm. Dana just joined the show. Dana, we've been waiting. You're a weekly favorite here. I'm listening here to my favorite sports show, just putting on a little makeup on my face, the me face. And I don't. Oh, she's got a makeup stick there. Why? I don't know. You put on makeup. Is this the morning ritual? Are you gonna say that you're picking the Redskins to win today? You're putting on your war paint.
The Chiefs.
Is this or are you looking to be featured on the show? It better be this show.
Or Dana, are you looking to become sponsored by Coke?
I don't know, Dana with the capital D. But Dana, now that you are finally tuned in, anything you want to go to here that you might have your particular upset, or are you just going to do your typical and try to come in here and solicit us for your what does she play? She plays that DraftKings.
I think
she plays DraftKings and she's into some fantasy. Are you going to just solicit us for the DraftKings, your picks? And I know Joe's the go-to. Your Joe knows. Okay, I know it used to be Bo knows, but this Joe knows. I'm telling you, Joe knows. And sometimes I tell Joe, I don't know, Joe. But in this particular case, Dana, are you soliciting us? Because there's going to have to be a cut coming up here. Joe, we got to start talking about contracts and cuts.
I'm telling you.
If she's winning loot, and I don't know if she is.
I know she's winning loot.
Is she winning loot?
She's winning loot.
Dana, if you're winning loot, we're going to need something. I don't care. I don't know. Is it going to be
at least
spicy? Something spicy? I mean, I don't know.
At least make me some chicken wings with nachos.
She's spicy, Joe. She likes spicy, so you better watch out when you ask that.
I like spicy too.
Now, Dana, you know I like those nachos. You throw them out on the cookie sheet. You throw the jalapenos on top of there. And then you sprinkle the cheese on there and you bake them at 10 minutes nice and crispy. I'll take those any day of the week, but especially on Sunday football, Joe. Joe, I got to get them for you. I keep saying I am.
Hey, man. Johnny needs to get them for me, too.
Really? You're calling out Johnny's...
Johnny, I'm calling you out, buddy.
Johnny's Tap House right here in Tarpon Springs, Florida. You say they need the nachos with the jalapenos on them.
Yeah, they do. And I'll tell you what, Johnny. You get John and I in the bar, you're going to be making some dough. You'll be making some loot, too, my friend.
Look, here's what I want to say. If you're going to do anything to do with the nachos, with that jalapeno on and the shredded cheese on top, that's a sports static nacho is what you call it. It's called a sports static nacho. And I'm just putting that out there right now. It's a sports static nacho. And here we go, Ian. Ian and Mishman. Bills upset New England.
Yes,
wow.
sir.
Hey,
yes, sir, Ian. Yes, sir. You're completely correct.
He is. Look, you're the second one here on the show, Ian, that says that with that. And I'll tell you what, Ian, that is what Joe, the co-host right here, already called out the upset. So, Joe, you're getting some support on your upset of the week.
Yes, sir.
So, Ian, if you want to go ahead now that you're in the conversation here on Sports Static, why? What is making you say, Ian? Is it the fact, and we got to go over this, and I've got to talk about this week in, week out, but Ian, what is it? Is it the fact that you hate the New England Patriots and you just want to see them get beat up on? Or is this something you're seeing as a match-up thing? Your prediction on that, Joe, is this another one of these guys that hate New England?
I hope so.
All right, we've seen enough of New England.
Yeah.
Have you figured that out yet? Dana's got the picture of a jalapeno up on the comment right now with a heart beside it. Yes, things are getting hot. I said things are getting hot. Now that I've been given the permission to move along and slide right past that Detroit Lions game where the Chiefs are in, we're moving on to what I think is a tough one to pick, and a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this one, Joe, and it could have potentially been an upset pick for me as well, Joe, here. The Browns are at the Ravens, and I guarantee you everybody has the Ravens to wipe their hiney, to wipe their hiney with the Browns, in which case it would be Browns.
Oh, God.
I know it.
Jesus.
I know I'm inappropriate at times, but that's the advantage we have not being on a network television show, I said.
Yep. Gotta wipe your hiney. But
Browns are at the Ravens, Joe.
I got the Ravens in this one. You know I'm a big Lamar Jackson fan, and I'm a big Baker fan too, but I just think Lamar is so dynamic. He's so good. So good. I got the Ravens. And their defense is really good too, so I got the Ravens.
The Ravens' defense is too good, and that defense, and what that is right there, Joe, is that their defense may be the determining factor in that game, because if we get the Browns firing on all 8, and for those of you that don't know what 8 is, it's called a V8. It's an 8-cylinder. It's what gives you the horsepower in your ride. And when you got one of those spark plugs down and you're not having all the spark plugs, which makes it an 8-cylinder, you're not firing on all 8 in your vehicle. It's not going to run the same. So, there's Joe. I'm just putting, some people are not picking up what I'm throwing down when I say firing on all 8.
Right? Yep.
They're
Spark
probably
plugs, baby.
They're
All
probably thinking that, wait a second, there's 11 people on the field. No, I'm talking engines, horsepower. I'm from the Detroit City Motor City. The Motor City. Anyway, Joe, if the Cleveland Browns offense is firing on all 8, if they're playing to their best potential, I believe they have the fire, the skill, and the players to keep up. And pay attention, my friends out there, to keep up with any other offense in the league, Joe.
And I agree, but do you believe in that coach?
Joe, I'm sorry. I, the whole time, was there, giving my spew, where I left you there live on camera, hanging, waiting for me. So, Joe, again, I believe they do have the potential. If their offense is firing on all 8, they're playing the best potential football they can, their offense can keep up with the best of the best, any offense in the league.
I agree with you, John, but let me tell you this. You believe in Mr. Run the draw on 4th and 9? Mr. Freddie Kitchens? I mean, come on. I don't believe in them anymore. That coach, get him out of here. Get him out of the dog pound.
Look, we'll see. We'll see what happens this week. But there's potential problems going on in the locker room, and I believe those potential problems are going to grow. Ian comes back, and he says, Bills D takes over.
Yes, sir.
Alan has a good day.
Yes, sir.
And I'm a Steelers fan, so yes, I hate New England. Thank you, Ian.
Thank you,
I
Ian.
appreciate that.
Thank you.
And I'm going to like your comment. I'm going to like Dana's
Super like
jalapenos
that one.
with her heart. I wish I could super like it. So, Ian, the Bills D, great. This is what we want. That's why this show is from the fans and to the fans and back to the fans and everything about that. Ian, you're right. The
Yep.
Bills D's looking good. They're also at home. And yes, you hate New England, and you're a Steelers fan. I'm sorry, Ian. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's going to be a tough year for you, Ian. And potentially many years to come, Ian, because Big Ben may not suit up again. I'm sorry, Ian. I'm sorry. Now, Joe, are you sorry for him too, for being a Steelers fan?
Yeah, man. I feel bad for you. But guess what? I'm a Bucks fan, so.
Ian also comes back and he says, hate the Ravens. You know, Ian, you've got a lot of hate coming on. There's groups for this. There's groups for this. Ian, that's a big word, the capital H. Hate. And I don't know if they're leaving the cap locks on, and if hate is going all the way across the board with the H-A-T-E. But Ian, there's groups for this. I mean, you're using some hate's a big word, but I'll take it from you, Ian. I'll take it from you. Ian hates the Ravens. Also, I think I need to go, Joe, we should find out how many teams he hates.
Let's, you know what, Ian? Let's go through it right now. How many teams do you hate, man? How many teams do you? I hope you like the Bucks, because even I start to hate them sometimes.
Ian, and there is a lot of teams that I dislike as well. But you hate the Ravens also, but yes, they win. And then Ian comes out and says the Browns are a paper team. And I don't know if he's taking that off of me saying that the Browns are going to wipe their butts.
I kind of agree with him.
But are you talking about a toilet paper team? I mean, the Browns are a paper team. Really, Ian? Look how far they came last year. Fair enough. Disagree with you on that one. I believe we are going to see something in the next decade. So,
decade?
Joe, including this year.
Okay.
I should say, Joe, let me reiterate.
Please.
You're going to see something for the next decade. For the next 10 years. You're going to have a competing for the playoff team in the Browns. Year in, year out. Through the Baker Mayfield era.
I agree, man. I agree. But honestly, Ian, I agree with you because, John, they kind of do look like a paper team because they look kind of overrated. I thought they were going to be a lot better, to be completely honest. But
I think it's a rough start for them.
Yeah.
But look, if any team knows how to lose, it's the Browns.
Yeah, it is.
The franchise, and I shouldn't say this team because this team is not made up of losers, by no means. So, Ian's telling me right now, telling us and everybody that's watching Sports Static, the Steelers will be fine 8-8 minimum.
Wow.
8-8 minimum, because if you're saying 8-8 minimum, a 9-7 or a 10 or a 10-6 could put them into the playoffs. And I'm just gonna tell you right now, Ian, you ain't got a playoff team there in Steelers land. Joe, he's saying 8-8 minimum.
I mean, if Big Ben was there, I'd agree with him. But I don't know. I don't see it.
I don't see it either. I don't think the Steelers will be making the playoffs this year or next year. If Ben does not come back next year, remember what I just said about the Browns. With that being said about the Browns, I'm sorry, Ian. I'm sorry. I feel for you, brother. The Steelers had their era. They had their time. And I seriously got to admit to you, I think that era is over for them. Big Ben comes back. He might be back one more time. Joe's going to be taking a call here shortly. And when he does, we're going to go live to the caller when the call comes in with Joe.
Hey, how you doing? No caller in. My uncle, big Lions fan. How you doing today, Pat?
Hey Joe, how's it going?
It's going well.
What's going on, Pat?
How's it going, John?
It's going good. You heard me before, and I'm assuming that's why you called in, because I was like, look, Pat, I was leaning on you hard, brother. You know, I mean, Pat, we grew up a couple of miles away from each other. I know you know Detroit, what Detroit's all about. I know you've been to the Pontiac Silverdome like I have. You remember those tailgate parties. I was leaning on you for the upset that one week. You didn't give me that extra push I needed, and it ended up being Detroit. Did get the upset. Fast forward, week 4, Pat. Pat, talk to me.
Don't miss out on the Lions again today.
Are you telling me
They're doing it again.
they're gonna? Are you calling for the upset at Ford Field?
Well, I would definitely take the points.
All right, you take the points. Did you happen to see? There was a news flash that came by. There was a former NFL player, actually it might be current, that actually said that teams get upset when they go to Detroit because it's so lame in there. Everybody's just sitting down. It's super quiet. There's not loud music going. There's nothing.
It's
And
like
that,
see the Rays play.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, very similar. You're right. Now, from what this guy says to the Tampa Bay Rays games, unless they're in the playoffs. Unless they're in the playoffs, Pat.
You just got to win one game, and they'll have some home games.
It's going to be fun here in the Tampa Bay area if they do, and I'll be there. Maybe we'll meet up there. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll all meet up there, Joe.
I'm down.
Playoff?
That sounds good.
The
Playoffs?
playoffs.
Joe, that was good. All right, so Pat, this guy said, I want your comment on this because you're from Detroit. Did you ever go to the Detroit Silverdome and watch games?
Sure did.
Okay, so then you're on the same page with me, which my first football game of my life was Green Bay Packers versus Detroit. And I'm going to age myself here a little bit in 1979. That was my first football game. Anyway, this guy, a player, an NFL player, said that it's so mellow in there. People are sitting on their hands. It's quiet in there. You feel like you're at a scrimmage. And by the time you realize what's going on, it's the fourth quarter because you've got no fighter in your game and you're way behind and it's too late. What do you think about that, Pat?
That's an interesting theory. I don't know about that. I don't know if I'm buying it.
I'm calling all the Detroit fans out right now, and I'm saying there is no way I want Detroit known for that, my hometown known for that, knowing how. I'm telling you right now, it was tradition to be to that game 3 hours early, cooking out in the parking lot, tipping some cold ones back, and getting a couple cold ones when you were in there. I've watched people jumping the wall in the Pontiac Silverdome, running all over the field. I mean, I just don't get this, and I hope, because I haven't been to Ford Field, I hope that's not the case, Pat.
It used to be one of the loudest places to play.
It did. It used to be one of the loudest places to play. You're right, and I just cannot believe that. So, let me just ask you on a flat-out line here. Are you taking Detroit to win, flat-out win, against the Chiefs today?
I think this is the game that is going to turn around the energy for Detroit.
Wow.
I like
The
it.
city is going to get excited after today. They've
Joe.
been hesitant.
Joe, this is your uncle on the
Yeah.
phone.
Yep.
What do you think about what he's calling out right now?
I like it. I like it.
You like it enough to change your pick?
Matt Patricia has got some surprises in store for Patrick Mahomes.
Joe, do you like it enough to change your pick?
Oh man. I'm not gonna change my pick, but I definitely like the Lions. I wouldn't mind seeing them win.
Okay. Pat, I was looking for you weeks back. You came on the show today. I was waiting. I held off the pick. And I'm just going to say and put it out there. I held it off. Pat, here it comes.
You can say it. You can do it.
I'm going right now, Pat. You pushed me over the edge, Pat. You pushed me over the edge. I'm taking that pick. I'm going the upset pick. The Detroit Lions in Ford Field with the fans swinging around white towels. on their feet the whole game are going to hit the Chiefs in the mouth today. Thank you, Pat. You put me over.
All right.
Pat, you gotta be with me in enthusiasm on this game today, buddy.
I am. Absolutely. They're going to do it.
Awesome.
Awesome.
What else, Pat?
A field goal at the buzzer.
Nice.
Field goal at the buzzer. Man,
That's it.
you know what? Actually, to tell you the truth, Pat, that is the kind of game I want Sunday football today. I want to be on the edge. I want to be rooting for the Detroit Lions like I did when I was a kid. I want to be on the edge of my couch. I want to be on the edge of my couch, and then I want to jump off of it, not like I used to. I'm going to try to avoid a back injury when I jump up. And that's what I want today. You called it perfectly right there. Pat, you got me this time. You got me. A Detroit Lion fan got me to call for the upset pick today. Joe, Joe, what your uncle got here today, man?
Hey, man, he's got the Lions, and I like the confidence. I like the pick.
All right, Pat, leave us with something else, man. Give us something else that you think is going to be one of those picks today where there could be another potential big upset today.
Well, I'm playing Phillip Rivers today, so I'm hoping that he goes for 404 touchdowns. That would work for me. I think the running back's back, and he's going to play a little bit today, get a touchdown, get 60 yards plus another 30 in the air.
I think that's smart, and the reason why I think it's smart, obviously, is because who they're playing. Joe, what do you think about that? I mean, that right there could be a potential disaster for the Dolphins today.
Yeah, and I like the prediction. So, I hope you do well in fantasy, Pat. I hope you win, man.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, Pat, we're tuning out. Hey, man, thank you, man. You gave me the push I needed this week, and you know what? I'm going with it full force right here on Sports Static. You heard it. Everybody who thinks Kansas City Chiefs are going into this stadium, Ford Field in Detroit today, and just going to walk all over and get a free pass and another W on your record here. That's not happening in Detroit today, because there's a little extra fire and there's a little extra volume in that roar today. So thank you once again, Pat, for calling in and giving us what we needed.
No problem, guys.
Take care, buddy.
Take care.
All right, you too.
All right, Joe. This is the time, Joe. Joe, your uncle came in this time and gave me what I need. I asked for it, and I got it. And I'm not talking about a Toyota commercial. You asked for it, you got it. Toyota. Your uncle, he gave it to me today, and I went for it, Joe.
Yep, ate the bait.
I ate the bait. Yeah, you think I took the bait and got hooked on that one, huh, Joe?
Yeah, you got hooked, man. You
Oh,
got hooked.
man. I'm not. Guys, I didn't write it down before. I'm writing it down right now. We already know Joe's got the Chiefs. We came back to it like we said we would. I took the Lions. I got to go real quick. Joe, is it practical? Is it practical? Am I just being a true fan here?
I think you are being just a true fan here. I mean, it could be practical because they, I actually hope they do win, to be honest. But listen here, guys. Chief Mahomes is a different kind of beast, man. You see him rolling out, slinging that thing. Hey.
I mean, I'm with you on that one. Chief Mahomes is a beast. There's no doubt about that. I mean, the thing is Chief Mahomes, yes, incredible.
Yep.
And I'm not so sure I want to run with the name Chief Mahomes. I'm going to leave that as just yours, Joe.
Okay.
That's yours. I'm going to call him Pat with a capital P. Pat. Patrick Holmes. Patrick.
Pat and then Rick. Pat, Rick.
Pat. Rick. Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes. There it is.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. All right, Joe, that's mine. Patrick Mahomes. That's how I'm
Okay.
running with it.
Okay.
Look, schooled today in Detroit by the veteran, Bradford, coming out there. And that's how I'm going to leave it. Going to the comments here real quick. Boy, Ian's been busy at it here right now. He says he's a Steelers fan, so yes, he hates the Ravens, Cincy, and the Pats. Other teams dislike. I like Tampa Bay, Joe. He comes
Thank
right
you.
there and says it.
Thank
I like.
you.
Stephanie just reacted. Stephanie Maria. Stephanie Maria just reacted. Thank you, Stephanie, for your reaction. Then she puts the faces in there. She's laughing, but Maria. Thank you, Stephanie, for your reaction and for the fact that you're engaged and watching the show right now. So back to Ian says, Joe, I do like Tampa Bay. So we good on that, okay?
Great.
Detroit takes the NFC North. That is a bold statement, Ian. Detroit takes the NFC North. The division's there for the taking, Joe. Or Ian. Joe, what do you think about that statement? Detroit takes the NFC North.
It could happen. I like it.
It could happen.
Yeah.
We'd really have to get in there. Steph's giving up a high five, or she's just giving a high. I don't know. Stephanie Maria, is that a high five, or is that just a high? I don't know, Joe. Joe.
What is
I
it?
don't
Just
know.
this?
Yeah.
This?
Joe, is that a high five, or is that a high?
I think it
Could be both.
might be a high.
Okay. Joe, I don't know. I don't know, Joe. So, the Lions, Stephanie Maria, she come out here, she goes, I'm supposed to be studying, but could not miss some clips. You know, Joe, did you hear that?
What'd she say?
She's supposed to be studying right now, but she could not miss some clips of Sports Static, Joe.
Wow. Well, hey, if you need help studying, what subject you studying? What
She's
subject?
studying them all, Joe.
All of them?
All of them.
Well, I don't know if I can help with all of them.
But hey, when we're pulling people away from the books,
Yeah.
I mean, to watch the show, that's a huge compliment. So now she's got another hand. Maria, I don't know.
It's
I
a
don't
high.
know.
I'm
Is
pretty
this
sure it's a high.
five, or is this a high? And if it's a high, if it's just a high, is there a high five you can throw at me? I don't know, Joe.
It's a you can't see me, John Cena, baby.
Okay. So Joe or Ian says that the division for Detroit is for the taking, and I truly believe that. Help! Maria, she says, help! Humanities right now. He's doing some humanities.
Oh, humanities. Okay.
Yeah, that's tough.
I don't think I did that in college, but
You didn't do humanities in college?
I
You
was
took the elective.
I was marketing and finance, so.
Marketing and finance.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe, I mean, in finance, maybe you could help me out here a little bit with your finance background on what I'm going to do with some of my picks and how much I'm going to wager.
Oh, what do you need to know?
How much to spend? I mean, how much should I bet $1 or should I bet $5, Joe?
How much you got? That's the question.
22.
22 cents? $22?
$22.
Bet all 22, baby. All
Wow.
22.
I like that, Joe. Go big or go home.
Yep.
Go big or go home. I like that, Joe. All right, let's move along here. Guys, this has been a lot. I mean, we've been active here, so I got to go back here, Joe, to some of these games that are going on here. We're right now. We haven't even finished this one, Joe.
Yeah.
We're still Cleveland Browns and the Ravens, and I was prepared with the Cleveland Browns because I didn't get my upset yet. But Pat helped me out. Pat, you helped me out with that. I was prepared to call that upset with Cleveland Browns. I was right there, Joe.
Well, I like the Cleveland Browns, but I'm a big Lamar Jackson fan, so.
So, Joe, what do you think here? Am I crazy right now? Am I off the scale? Lost my marbles? If I'm thinking the Browns have a chance at 1-2 to beat the 2-1 Ravens at home.
Oh, I mean, not at all. Not at all. That team on paper is loaded. Loaded. So, Nick Chubb, Odell, Jarvis, Njoku, Baker. I mean, their team's loaded. So they could win, but I just think that the Ravens, a little bit more chemistry. So that's why I think they win. A little bit more experience.
a little bit more experience in the head coaching position as well.
Definitely, yeah.
But with all that being said, Joe, you know what you actually just now did there?
What's that?
Do you know what you actually just now did?
No.
Joe, you just talked me into taking them. You just pumped them up, Joe. Huge. Joe,
can I
thank
say?
you. Thank you, man.
You're welcome.
No, I appreciate you, man. I'm going Browns today. Anybody got a problem with that? I want to hear from you right now. Look, I did this one time before. I'm going to do it again. Look, just on that specific thing right there, I'm going the Browns. Anybody got a problem with that? Call in. I'm going Browns. And if you're paying attention to the show, like you should be, you see the number right now below me, okay? Call in. I want to hear, am I crazy right now for going with the Browns? I don't think so, Joe. Browns are taking this game, Joe, and it's going to be a tight one, but it's going to be because they're going to try their best and stick with it. Try to stick with it, Cleveland. Stick with your running game.
And not run draws on 4th and 9. You hear that, Freddie?
Sell him again.
Don't run draws on 4th and 9, Freddie.
Freddie, you've caught hell this week. And I don't know, Freddie, come on. That's ridiculous. I appreciate your enthusiasm. Nobody doubts Baker's arm, okay? Come on, play to win the game. That was stupid with a capital S. And I'm not here to call people names. And I didn't call him a name on that one, did I, Joe?
Look, clown of the day goes to old Freddie Kitchen. A bozo.
That was a bozo move.
That's a bozo right
It was
there.
a bozo move.
Real big bozo.
Freddie, don't do that again. I'm calling on you guys today, and I'm going to tell you, Freddie, you got your head in the game. I don't know. Freddie, did you hand off the play calling role to somebody else? I don't know, Freddie. I don't know. But I am taking the Browns today, and I got to say, Joe, I feel good about that. Here it comes, Joe.
Yeah.
Here it comes. Here it comes, Sports Static fans. Anybody who's still watching the show on Leap Alive, which, guys, you know that is our host. Leap Alive hosts the show for us. They are a broadcast network. Leap Alive broadcast, not just this show, Leap Alive broadcast shows, period. So you can find them, guys. You can find them. Facebook.com/Leap Alive. You can register to be part of the show week in and week out, a show's favorite. Register, you'll have the number each week in and week out to call in. You will get direct access. So if you're registered with Leap Alive, you're a straight line to the show. A straight line. That means you've registered and you are a straight line to the show. You get in on the show every time, snap of the finger, you are in when you do that. Guys, don't miss any of the episodes we've played. Anytime there's an episode, that episode is current until the next show streams. It's right there at leapalive.com. Right when you go to leapalive.com, the player opens up and you will see the last show stream. So don't ever miss a show. If you want to go back to recap it and see what you might have missed, like if you came in late today, go back and watch it at leapalive.com, guys. Okay? That's where you do it. Leapalive.com is the network that streams our show. You can find it on YouTube. Guys, if you go to YouTube, even if you're watching it somewhere else, just go to YouTube and subscribe. Because we put a little extras out there for you. So I'm just putting it out there for you. So, that being said, okay, Joe? I know we got to do it. We got to go through that stuff. That's where they are. They're embedded in there, our fans, Joe.
I love our fans.
That's great, man, with your red Coke shirt, Coca-Cola. You enjoy Coke and you enjoy the fans.
Hey, if any of you guys know any Coke guys out there, sponsor me, man. Sponsor the show, baby.
We'll have the Coke truck show up.
Let's have the
you are.
Coke truck, man.
You know, we should do, we should, you know what, Joe? That is great. You know what we should have? We should have the fan of the week. And with that fan of the week,
That's smart.
a Coca-Cola truck should show up to their house and deliver them Coca-Cola.
Hey, that's
Coca-Cola, if you're watching, Joe, You're a graduate, and a marketing graduate.
Yeah.
Is that not great marketing for Coca-Cola?
That is great marketing.
So we should have the fan of the week, okay, that's engaged the most throughout the week, not just game day. And when we get that fan of the week, the following week, Sunday football, the Coca-Cola truck should show up and deliver them Coca-Cola for their NFL party that we're going to stream live.
I love it. I love it. I wish I was a fan of the show.
You are.
Well,
the biggest fan of the show, Joe.
I don't
Here
know.
you are.
I don't know, man. Dana's been every single day.
Dana with a capital D. In fact, I got to check up on Facebook right now. I'm probably missing all this stuff. And I probably am. That's the thing about it is when I click off of this stuff, guys, and I'm sorry if I miss your comments, I try to keep with them as close and as fast as I can. And there I am. I'm back at it. Stephanie, do it at Johnny's again.
Yeah.
Win big bucks. Okay, I like that. Glad I fund you guys. Great show. Dana's got a heart with a football on there. Let me go back here. And Stephanie is now telling me, Stephanie Maria, that it was a wave and not
I told you it was a wave, man.
win the big bucks. I am going to win the big bucks, Maria. That's what I do. Ian says, no, crazy, but not going to happen. Not crazy, but not going to happen is what Ian's telling me about me going with Joe. He's telling me, not crazy, but not going to happen. Browns aren't beating the Ravens.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Ravens will win that game, so we'll see what happens.
And Dana put a big heart with a football, meaning that she's happy that we're calling her one of the biggest fans on the show.
Yeah,
Dana
fan of the
with
week, fan of the week.
fan of the do that again. That's a good one.
Fan of the week, fan of the week.
Dana with a capital D. So I'm doing that right now. So I'm doing it right now. Guys, I try.
Yeah, do it.
I try. Guys, that's all I can say is that I try. Okay, let's go back here. Now that I'm caught up with them, Joe, I appreciate you guys' enthusiasm. I really do. And Joe, I still haven't. I'm doing it. I still haven't committed 100%. Joe, I'm doing it.
I like it.
Browns win this game.
Okay.
I'm marking them down. And Joe, you got the Ravens?
I have the Ravens, yeah.
So, Joe, there's another one that separates us. I'm going out on a limb there, Joe. Going out on a limb.
Yeah.
The next game up, guys. Here we go. Been
Oh,
waiting on this.
my
Joe,
team.
the Patriots are at the Buffalo Bills, Joe.
Oh, the Patriots at the Bills. It's an upset. The Bills are taking it. We're going to get out Brady. The Bills are going to get out Brady, man. And he's going to get some turnovers. So, Bills win that one.
Joe, I mean, I cannot believe it. We can't go with upset of the week on it.
Because
Okay.
they're both 3-0.
We can't go with upset of the week on it. But Joe, what we can do, and this is just it, what we can do, we can put the upset alert,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So we can go upset alert, not upset of the week. There it is again, right there. And Joe and I are on the same page on this guy. It's an upset alert. Another upset of the alert. Here we go. Guys, if you agree or disagree with this one right here, I want to hear you. Comment below. Comment anywhere you are. And I'm putting it out there again. Guys, if you agree with us, only if you agree. Okay? I know there's a million of you out there that don't agree. If you agree that the Bills upset the Patriots and win at home and go 4-0 to lead the division, to beat the Patriots today, call in the show.
I hope
Call
so,
it.
John. I hope so.
You guys can also text that number, by the way. You can text that number if you're shy with a capital S. But I would prefer you call the show. If you are with us on this and you think the Bills are going to win today, let me know. Joe, talk to me. Bills,
I like the Bills. As I said, I'm real up on Jordan Poyer. Yeah, well, you know why I'm up on Jordan Poyer? His girlfriend's hot. But
Is she?
Oh, man.
I mean, when you now, Joe, hang on a second. When you say hot,
like a jalapeno.
What, again?
Like a jalapeno.
So, all right, because Joe, we gotta classify something right now. A lot of times people go on a scale of 1 to 10, and I don't really follow that
That's
scale.
funny.
I just don't. Okay, because a 5 can be hot at times. You know what I mean, Joe? I mean, come on, let's be real
even
here.
a 3 if you're drunk enough. But let me
Joe,
tell you,
that's hard, man. Joe, that's hard, man. But let's go ahead and break the scale down, Joe. When you say hot, on that scale, when you're saying hot, what is hot if we were to go to the layman scale of the 1 to 10? Where does hot fall in?
she breaks the scale.
Are you serious?
Let me give you a little metaphor, John, or a little analogy. Say an 800-pound person steps on a scale. That scale is gonna break, or it's gonna say, "Look, you're too heavy. Get your fat ass off the scale." That's what I mean, John.
So you're using it that way of saying
Yeah.
that she is that hot that she
Yeah.
breaks the 1 through 10 scale. It just shatters. She's so hot. It goes through the
Shatters
roof.
it. Shatters it.
With that being said, then Joe, I don't just say somebody's hot when they break the scale, Joe. Okay, They're hot. Joe. Okay, Joe. When they break the scale, we might as well just get that out of the way right now on the show. Is that they're hot? Hot. I mean, this girl is hot, Joe.
Like a jalapeno.
Like a
Yeah.
jalapeno. I appreciate you backing it up. So, just so we got that out of the way, the same instance when a team is on fire, Joe, and they are hot. Okay?
Yeah.
So, she's that hot.
Yes.
Joe, you just took a drink of water, and I am so freaking thirsty right now. Can you hold the fort down and go over this game with them right now, the Patriots and the Bills, and why you think, okay, aside from his girlfriend being hot, can you break it down while I get a little bit of H2O to wet my whistle? Because every time I say hot, I get more thirsty.
Yeah. I think we should have a water boy too. That just tosses us waters.
All right, why, Joe? Why? Why are the Patriots getting a hang?
I mean their defense is really good. Top 10 defense. Poyer, Tre'Davious White, they're healthy. Hot girlfriend. That makes their chances go up by 50% at least. Yeah, I mean, the Patriots are very solid. I'm just picking the upset just because I don't like them. Just like you, Ian. I hate them too. I hope they lose. Don't like them. Never will like them. But we'll see what happens. The Bills Mafia will be out in force today.
And they can stop Brady, right?
And they will stop Brady. They will definitely stop Brady and Belichick. Belichick will probably have a little whiny little baby today because that's how he usually is. He doesn't like to answer questions after in the press conferences. This is how his answers go. Yeah, we're on to the next game. On to the next game. Every time. The guy doesn't give any information. I don't like the Patriots, man. Bills Mafia all day long.
We're going to do what's best for the team. Let's do what's best for the team. Play week in, week out. On the next week. We're going to do what's best for the team. We called a play that we thought was best for the situation. Looking forward to next week. It was best for the team. Yeah, is that not annoying to you?
I mean, it's, it gets ridiculous at times.
We're watching football. It's an entertainment thing that
Yeah.
we're watching here, Joe. Is that not annoying? You're going to have someone on come and shortchange you like that?
Yeah, it's annoying.
All right. Both Joe and I took the Bills. On the upset, not because we hate them, right?
Well, it's a little reason.
And fair enough. It is a little bit of a reason why. Ian's getting a kick out of that. So anyway, guys, check it out. Back to NFL here. And let's check and see right now. Here it is, Joe, right here. The Buccaneers, Joe, with your favorite quarterback in the NFL, Jameis Winston. Joe, Buccaneers are at the Rams.
Yeah, I'm realistic. I'm a realistic fan. I got the Rams in this one. That was actually my Super Bowl prediction. The Rams winning the Super Bowl. Yeah, I have the Rams. They're just so much firepower on that team. Solid offense, solid defense, really good kicker. Great. Sean McVay is a great coach. Yeah, I got the Rams.
Yeah, and I appreciate the enthusiasm with everybody thinking that the Buccaneers are going to do something, but this will be the game, Joe. Are you ready, Joe?
Yeah.
Joe, this is the game that we remember. Joe, we remember who Jameis Winston is.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I hope not, but...
How many turnovers in this game and which team gives the turnovers up? Your prediction. Should I bust out the crystal ball for you, Joe?
Bust it out.
Here we go. Guys, we're going to the crystal ball. Joe, the crystal ball. Looking into your crystal ball, Joe, how many turnovers do you see in the Buccaneers at the Rams? And by who, Joe?
Okay, I see at least 4 turnovers total in the whole game. I think Jameis throws 2 interceptions.
Wow.
And I believe Shaq Barrett gets 2 strip sack fumbles and recovers both of them. So
Joe, I gotta tell you right now, I'm extremely jealous. I mean, extremely jealous of you right now.
who isn't?
Classic response from the co-host Joe, lacking no confidence. This guy. Hey, take a note for this, okay? Okay, take a note. I'm jealous
Take some
of you.
notes down.
You saying put notes down?
Jot some notes down.
And the reason why I'm jealous, Joe, it has nothing to do with that bright red shirt you're wearing right now with the Coke sign where you might soon be sponsored by. Nothing to do with that, Joe.
I hope.
It's nothing to do with that pearly white smile that mimics Cam Newton's perfect smile. It's nothing to do with that either, Joe. There's nothing to do with that. I'm jealous because, Joe, when I look into the crystal ball, I didn't see anything nowhere near as clear as you. You not only called for 2 interceptions by Jameis, but you called turnovers by who? Fumble recoveries.
Yeah, Shaq Barrett will get at Jared Goff.
Joe, when I look in the crystal ball and I'm looking in there, I'm jealous. You're actually getting jersey numbers out of that damn thing I said, Joe.
I see everything, John. Everything.
Wow. Well, who's sitting in the front row at that game I said?
His girlfriend. And I'll be hitting her up, too.
All right, Joe. Hey, confidence is a good thing, my friend, and you should never lack confidence. You are who you think you are. Is that not right, Joe? You are who you think you are.
I know who I know I am.
He knows who he knows he is. Joe knows. Guys, I tell you this all the time. Joe knows.
We need a shirt, man. When are we going to get my shirt?
We do need a shirt. All right. Let's see here. Guys, I got to go over to my other freaking platform here. I keep on forgetting about. There it is. And I'm not missing anything on the other platform. I hoped I was. But I'm not missing anything on the platform. Okay, so, Joe, I am with you 100%, by the way. I am with you 100% on that one. I also have the Rams winning that game. And I'm not seeing what you saw, Joe. I'm not seeing what you saw. You called James to throw 2 interceptions.
Yeah. I think so.
Okay. Yeah, it's what you saw in the crystal ball,
That's
Joe.
what I saw.
And Joe, I'm telling you, if that's what you saw in the crystal ball, and if you looked at your crystal ball and saw it, then that's what you saw, Joe, right?
Right.
Okay. Me and what I see, Joe, I see an interception. I see an interception, but I also see 2 fumbles from Jameis.
Okay.
Jameis turns the ball over, 3 times in this game. And one of them will be for 6 points.
Oh, man. That's brutal.
It's brutal, isn't it?
Yeah. And you know what else I'm seeing, John? That Matt Gay, man. He's going to hit the crossbar a couple times.
You think the curse is still on right now. The curse is still on with our kickers. And it seems like, Joe, once they miss and it's in their head, what's going on? We got to start really thinking, Joe. What's going on with the team, the locker room? What is going on that you don't have to where you live to play another down, you do this? It's really in the heads of these kickers, Joe.
Yeah. You know, it's weird because they do it every single day, and it just should be a routine. And it was a PAT. It was 34 yards. I could make that. John, you could make that. My grandmother can make that PAT. Okay?
Joe, I don't know. Okay? I told you this before. Joe, I don't know. Can I get a 34-yarder with the game, in a game? Joe, I don't know, Joe.
Well, I do, John. And guess what? I know. And this is what I want to say. I was telling my mom yesterday. I was saying, look, the Buccaneers should be the first team to get a woman in the NFL, Carly Lloyd. She hasn't missed one yet. Let's make some history.
Exactly my point, though, is she hasn't been in the live game action. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call out to the Buccaneers. Joe, do you mind me calling out the Buccaneers here?
Call them.
Joe, you might be surprised what I'm about ready to ask them. I'm asking the Buccaneers at their next home game, at the halftime show, we get Joe at a 37-yard field goal. Halftime, I'm calling the Buccaneers right now. I'll put this on the Buccaneers organization. At Raymond James, their next home game, we get Joe out there kicking a 37-yard field goal with all the fan action going on. It's going to be like a live kick, Joe.
Let's do it.
Are you really up for that?
Hey, if I make it, we got to make a little bet here. If I make it, I should get Matt Gay's contract. Let me get that. I'll steal that man's money from him.
All right, Joe. I like that. You're going for the stars on that one,
Yeah.
Joe. You're going for the stars. So if you make it, we need something. I'm not so sure you're going to get the contract, but we might be able to get you to warm up the pine.
I'll be out on the field.
Okay. You'll be out on the field.
Let me take Jameis's position, man. I'm not going to throw interceptions.
Whoa, now, this is a guy, look, for you, those of you who haven't been following the show, this is a guy that has praised Jameis many times. He loves Jameis Winston. I'm not going to say he's got a Jameis Winston poster on his wall.
I don't.
You don't?
No, but I actually got Jameis Winston. Well, I'm not going to put that on the show, but...
That was close, guy. That was as close as you can get to him saying something that he realized, maybe I better not say this live on the show. But you would not throw an interception.
Come on, John.
I'm with you, Joe. 100% with you on that one. I am with you because I think that you would be a Joe.
Elite.
Okay, but I'm going to say about your demeanor, and here's what I would say. Guys, I'm going to do it again like I do every show to quote the late, great Stuart Scott. Joe, you may actually be on the field as cool as the other side of the pillow. You might be, Joe.
Ice in my veins.
Ice, like Matty Ice now. You're like Matty Ice now, huh?
I'm more like Aaron Rodgers mixed with Tom Brady, mixed with Joe Montana, mixed with Lamar Jackson, because I got speed. You can't stop that, man.
So you're right. So you're saying you're a mutt, but the best kind of mutt you can be. You're a mutt. You got every breed you can go. You're one of those mutts with shaggy hair, but is the smartest dog on the block. I said.
I'm a Madden creative player. 99, everything.
I like it.
What?
Yes. Okay. I love it. I love it. Okay, so here we go. Guys, I called for it. Buccaneers are losing there. I'm saying there's 3 turnovers by Jameis. And what do we got there? The Rams. Where are the Rams here, guys? I'm sorry. There they are right there. So, guys, the Rams on this one, they're 3-0, Joe. They're 3-0.
Yep.
They're looking good.
They are.
They're looking good. And they can get better, Joe.
They could. Yep.
That's what's scary, guys. Are you understanding how much better right now the Rams can get when they open up a better running game, Joe?
Yeah, and all the offensive schemes that they use. Scary team.
It is a scary team. Let's move along here, Joe. What do we have here next? We just went through that one. We'll do that. Here we go, guys. The Seahawks are at the Cardinals. Joe, the Seahawks are at the Cardinals. And Joe, you've been big on the Cardinals.
I
and
know.
you've been big on Murray. But after now, here we are, week 4. Where are we with you and your love for the Cardinals and Murray as quarterback?
Yeah, the Cardinals suck. I mean, they're just not a good team. I have the Seahawks winning this one. Jadeveon Clowney, I believe, has a big game. McDougal has a good game. Their secondary is good. Russell Wilson, really like Russell Wilson. So I have the Seahawks winning that one.
And I got to tell you right now, I'm with you 100% on that. But, I mean, Joe, I got to know. Week 4, we've been through 3 weeks. What do you think right now as the development and going along here, Kyler Murray?
I like Kyler Murray. I think he's developing really well. They do run a lot of read options for him, and it's like they do a little fake the handoff, and then they run a little slant, and it works a lot. You know, Fitzgerald gets a lot of those. I think he's developing pretty well, and I think he's going to be really good in this league.
All right, and I like his arm. We've talked about that before, and I think he's got some really good accuracy. But the thing that I'm going to start noticing more about him is what he does when he's in trouble. What he does with the ball when he's in trouble. Making sure that he's not trying to get that extra yard. He's been really, really, really good, Joe, of acting like he's sliding into second base with most of these. You can tell the guy played baseball because he's got the best slide in football right now.
Yeah, he really does. I think he makes real good decisions. You don't really see Kyler Murray making too many mistakes.
Yeah, he does make good decisions. Some of these quarterbacks, Joe, that I'm watching are diving head first.
Yeah, I know.
And I watched Aaron Rodgers do that twice.
Right.
Twice.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Yeah, and Rodgers almost lost a fumble on one of them. I don't know what is with that.
I mean, why are you diving head first? Joe, I mean, especially Aaron Rodgers. Come on. You're at a point in your career and with your team, they can't afford for you to go down. And quite honestly, Mr. Rodgers, you can't afford it. You can't afford to go down. You've got an opportunity to play late in your career, like the Drew Breeses, like the Peyton Manning, pretty good, like the Tom Brady's. Ben's down now, but Ben was getting up there with it as well. He's got an opportunity, Joe, to go late, but he's not going to go late if he keeps on doing things like that.
I know. Yeah, they teach you that in quarterback school. You got to slide like a baseball slide. So if you don't do it, you're gonna get cracked.
Well, maybe in April, our baseball starts in April. I report around Valentine's Day, maybe in February. Okay, Aaron, maybe you should go to some spring training things with a couple baseball teams and figure out how to get that slide into second base. Or go hang out with Kyler Murray. The kid can slide into. Wow, if you want to know how to slide, watch Kyler Murray. A couple other ones.
Westbrook.
Russell Wilson. Okay, almost got his head ripped off.
Yeah. What play is that? What play was that one?
On a slide.
On a slide?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was the last second. It's like running and sliding last second. I'm looking at one of these guys, and then there's going to be a huge fine whoever hits the first.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That's the thing is it's dangerous. Dangerous. So anyway, with that game, Joe, you are taking Seattle. I'm taking Seattle as well on that one.
Yeah.
Moving right along. Joe, here's a divisional game, an interesting one here for you. Vikings are at the Bears, Joe.
Yeah, my best friend's a Bears fan, and I told him, I'm big on the Bears pretty much just because their defense, their offense. I'm not a big Trubisky fan. He's another one that slides head first. But I do have the Bears in this game, but it's going to be very close, and I think it goes overtime.
When you say you have the Bears in the game, does that mean they're going to be in the game till late, and then the Vikings are going to pull off the win?
No, I think it's going to be a close game throughout, but I believe that the Bears are going to pull it out pretty much just because of Khalil Mack in that defense.
Khalil Mack in that defense is something else. And these teams are both 2-1 right now. Okay? The Minnesota defense is pretty good, Joe. Dana, if you're still watching the show right now, I want you to pay attention right now to what's happening. Okay? Because this is very important. Okay? And by the way, Ian did
Cards
comment
take it? Okay.
and say that the Cards take this. Wow, Ian.
That's
pretty bold, Ian.
That's bold.
You hear that, right?
That's bold, yeah.
That's pretty bold, Ian.
And honestly, I was high on the Cardinals, but they just, they're just losing it for me. I don't know.
That's pretty bold. Anyway, back to this. Dana, if you're paying attention still, and Dana, if you're still tuned in to the show, pay attention to this. There is a quarterback or a running back that I've been speaking highly of, Joe. And Joe, I'm sure pretty much you realize when I'm talking Minnesota Vikings and running back.
Yeah.
You got an idea who I'm talking about, Joe?
I do. Dalvin.
Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook and the Minnesota defense are going to be two factors in this game that I believe they go into Chicago and come out to lead the division, Joe. They're going to lead the division on this, okay? They'll be tied for it, as you could say, okay? I'm taking the Vikings, running back, Dana, Dalvin Cook, running back. Okay? Scrimmage yards. Not just to touch it, it's scrimmage yards I'm talking about here, Joe. What do you get from the line of scrimmage?
I mean, I think he goes over 100 yards.
Definitely. More like
So.
150.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
against a good defense, too. We're not talking about slouch on defense
Yeah.
here. But the thing about it is where it's going to work good is when you talk Khalil Mack, is he overly aggressive getting to the quarterback, and there you got Dalvin Cook on the little out, drop pass. That's what I mean right there. And what I'm looking at, if they've done this right, Minnesota's done this right, what they've done is that they're going to play to that. Suck them in, Khalil Mack, suck them in for the sack, and get ready to dump that ball off and quick. You got to be ready for it. You got to be quick, and you had to have practiced this all week long, Joe.
Yeah. I agree. Dalvin has a big game. Big game.
Okay, so I'm taking the Vikings to win this game. Guys, I don't know. Am I crazy on this one? Joe, you're taking the Bears.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Vikings. Joe, we're starting to split this up a little bit here. And how you feeling, Joe, right now? Is it? You said it's going to be close.
Yeah, that's usually how it happens. It's like we agree, and then
It starts fading away.
fades away.
Jaguars are at the Broncos. Jaguars, I'm telling you right now, if you want to talk about the best mustache and the shaggy hair in football, one guy we got to talk about, Joe, who's got the best shaggy hair, and we might even see a mullet this week. I don't know, Joe, but who's got the best shaggy hair and the best mustache in football with the swag attitude, Joe?
It's that Gardner Minshew.
Gardner Minshew with the Jacksonville Jaguars is headed in to visit the donkeys in the mountains, mile high, where only the donkeys are. Yeehaw! And the Broncos. So, Gardner, and I'm not talking about the guy that's out there going ahead and planting vegetables and trimming back things and pulling weeds. This isn't the Gardner I'm talking about, Joe. Joe, what Gardner am I talking about?
Minshew.
Minshew. And if I didn't Minshew you before, Gardner, I'll Minshew you now. Okay? Gardner. Nonchalant attitude, potentially as much confidence as the red-wearing coat shirt Joe on our show. Could have as much confidence as you, Joe. He could.
He definitely does.
Gardner Minshew takes the Jacksonville Jaguars on the road to Donkey Mile High Stadium to face the Broncos. I've got the Jaguars taking this game, and I think it's going to be everything with the team riding the coat of Gardner. What do you think, Joe?
Completely agree.
Do you? Why, though? I mean, is it really just what's happened?
Yeah, I mean, Jalen Ramsey, I don't think's playing, but I still believe that defense. I mean, they locked up Tennessee. That defense is really solid, and Gardner Minshew, big fan, baby. Send me a signed jersey.
What do you think about the Ramsey situation? To me, I think it's almost, Joe, and I got to say this, is that I'm not a big fan of the. It's almost seeming like the NBA sometimes of demanding these trades when you're under contract because you're not getting along with somebody. For years and years and years, this has happened. You figure it out, play the game, okay? Play football, get there, give us 100% of the effort, be a teammate to your players, show up for practice. I understand you had the birth of your child, Ramsey and everything, but come on, all right? A lot of players have that. Show up to practice when you're trying to get the game plan together for the next week. That shows your support for the team. That's what shows it. When you're in the film room, when you're studying, when you're doing things, and you're practicing, you're going through all these new plays that you have for the team, and that's why they're sitting them. I don't believe that has anything at all to do with the trade, him wanting to be traded, and the attitude and the argument going on. I believe Joey's sitting because he didn't participate through the week in the game plan.
Yeah, right, I agree. And there's actually reports coming out that Ramsey might be going to the Chiefs. Could you imagine?
Are you kidding me?
I swear there's
Joe,
report.
are you kidding me right now?
Inside information.
Joe, guys, just to let you know here, not that he's just not revealing his source to you, he's also never revealed his source here to us at Sports Static. And are you following suit with that still, Joe?
I'm not an open book, John.
I do have a graphic for that, but not with us, Joe. So Joe's source is a source. Joe, is this a source leak?
This is a leak. Yeah.
Okay.
This is a friend of a friend of another friend, which becomes inside information, which I get, and I come on the show to bless you guys with my knowledge and tell you he might be on the Chiefs. Maybe.
Wow. Guys, my man's going through a friend from a friend from a friend that knows a friend who his Uncle Pat knows a friend, and he's got his cousin Paulie. Yeah, the guy that makes the good spaghetti and meatballs. I said, hey, Paulie, you gotta try this guy, Paul. Okay? His meatball. And then Paulie throws it on back on over here onto the east side of the United States, and then it gets a feed in to Joe. And he gets leaked information, okay, that you're telling me this guy's going to go to a championship caliber football team, and he's being rewarded that way.
Well, that's what they're saying because they can give up first-round picks. The Chiefs have first-round picks to get Ramsey, but who knows if they get him? That's just the leaked information.
I agree with him not playing this week because of the fact that it doesn't make a good teammate when you do stuff like that. I don't think it's good for the NFL. I don't know how far this is going to go with several other players before something happens in the NFL where they stop this from happening. There's millions of dollars being exchanged. There's a lot of things that happens, trades and everything. We'll see, Joe. I don't know. I don't know, Joe.
Hey, I don't know either, but, you know, I think I really believe this is going to be a good game, but I hope Ramsey stays, to be honest, but he's not going to.
Okay, going back, Dana's back on the show when she listened to what I said. But Dana, did you really jot down those notes? Because Dana, I gave you a couple other pointers. Okay, now I really want you to pay attention to what I'm saying about a couple of these cats I'm talking about. Okay, I looked in too. Okay, into the hourglass there. I looked into the ball, the crystal ball. And when I looked into the crystal ball, I didn't see what Joe, you see totally different than I seen, and your clarity is remarkable.
Thank you.
But Dana, pay attention to what I said. There's some validity behind it. I'm not going to even go into sources. Okay? But anyway, pay attention to that. Moving right along, guys. Next game coming up. Are we into the 4 o'clocks? We are. We're deep into the 4 o'clock games. The Cowboys, the 8 o'clock game.
It's gonna be a good game.
8:20 p.m. on NBC. The Cowboys are coming into New Orleans Saints, where, you know, if you talk about spicy stuff,
yeah.
There's a lot of spicy stuff happening there, Joe.
Yeah, I like the Saints in this one.
Why?
I like the Saints in this one. I like Teddy Bridgewater. I think he's a solid quarterback. Alvin Kamara's good. Their defense is solid also. I know that, you know, the Cowboys have been looking really good, but I have the Saints. I think Michael Thomas has a big game. Big game, Michael Thomas. At least 11 receptions and a touchdown. So, got the Saints.
You know, this is a really tough game to call. I mean, this is a really tough game to call,
Yeah.
Joe. And the reason why it's a tough game to call is because I'm just kind of checking out a couple of things here while I'm going with this. The reason why this is such a tough game to call, guys, is because the Cowboys do look good. I think Zeke's starting to get his feet underneath him. Okay, I think Dak is that dual threat, Joe. We've seen him as a dual threat before, but the dual threat is there right now. He's seeing the field real good, Joe.
He is.
And I think the threat, because of that, that threat comes alive more. So this is a tough game, and I think the winner of this game goes through the running back for each team, Kamara, Elliott. Whichever one of them have a better game today, and I'm talking yards from scrimmage, I do believe they got to give Zeke more passes. Okay, I believe that.
Yeah.
But I believe whoever has more yards from scrimmage, who has a better game, Zeke or Kamara, whichever one of those two have a bigger day today, I think that team wins, Joe.
Yeah, and I agree. And I also, we could bring it to, I think whoever has a better game between the quarterbacks and the wide receivers too. I think if Amari Cooper has a big game, I think the Cowboys could win. And I believe if Michael Thomas has a real big game, the Saints will win. This is a real tough toss-up game, but I'm sticking with the Saints.
I was so close to going with the Cowboys because I like what I see happening with the Cowboys. Dallas is 3-0. Okay,
Yeah.
No joke, Joe.
Yeah.
They're 3-0, and that carries over to the next week when you're winning. You're winning. It's an all-win mentality right now in Dallas, Joe.
Definitely.
Okay, if you look at the last couple seasons here with the Dallas Cowboys, progressively they've improved.
They have.
So this is huge for New Orleans, okay? But, and this is the big but, and I'm talking about the big but they were talking about, Joe, in that song, Baby Got Back. They weren't talking about a little but, were they, Joe?
They were not.
Okay, so this is a big but I'm talking about. But, and I'm talking a big but, okay? The New Orleans Saints at home today have a great home crowd. They've had time. Teddy Bridgewater, your game plan, working in Kamara as a receiver and running back. I'm with you 100% on this, Joe. Kamara has the bigger day. Teddy Bridgewater protects the ball. The New Orleans Saints defense does enough
to get the win at home and go 3-1 and put the Dallas Cowboys at 3-1.
Yep, I agree with you, John. All the way, I agree with you.
So we got the Saints, both you and I.
Yeah.
I like it, Joe. I like it. And I got to go real quick.
game.
We are on to the last one. I got to go real quick to see what everybody else thinks about this. I want to try to my best to keep up with you guys here. Not easy when we don't got the producer in the studio. It is not easy to keep up with you, but that is my goal. My goal is to keep up with you. Okay, so moving right along here, Joe. We're going
Got
to
Ian's
Monday.
team now.
Monday Night Football, Joe. This is so boring, Joe, to me. Okay? Ian's going to have something to say about this, I'm sure. Bengals, Monday Night Football, 8:15 on ESPN. The Bengals are at the Steelers, Joe.
Yeah, I got the Steelers getting their first win on Monday night. I think James Conner has a big game. I think, Rudolph's a decent quarterback. Juju, I think, has a huge game. I think Juju has a huge game, and I think the Steelers' defense is calm in there, and I think they blitz Andy Dalton. Even though I believe Andy Dalton and John Ross are going to connect for a few long bombs, I have the Steelers winning this one.
And I get it. Both of these teams, Joe, are 0-3. I'm sorry, Ian. I'm sorry. I told you that already many, many, many times. But I'm going to tell you again, I apologize. I'm sorry, Ian. The Steelers are going to get beat by the Red Rocket. Okay? They're going to get beat by the Red Rocket. It's going to be a close game, Joe. I've seen Cincy. They've got sparks. You see it, Joe. You're seeing sparks of brilliance with them.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely seeing some sparks. Andy Dalton can sling the rock. John Ross is so fast. AJ Green, he's so injury prone. It's hard to have him stay consistent. But yeah, John, I have to just disagree with you. I got the Steelers in this one.
So they're finally going to get that win, and they're going to go 1-3. Zane joined the show. Zane, a big part of the show, guys, all the time. Zane, what's up? Ian is saying that the Steelers take it 21-17.
That's a solid prediction. Yeah.
That is a solid prediction, isn't it, Joe?
Yeah.
and that is, and I think it's going to be close. No doubt about it that I think it's going to be close. And then Ian comes back to say the Steelers D meshes and get 3 takeaways. Mason, 2 TDs.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a bold prediction right there by Ian, would you say?
I agree with him.
I wonder if this guy's got a crystal ball at home.
Hey, he might have a crystal ball.
Ian, do you have a crystal ball at home? I'm not talking about one over there at your grandma's house out of the china cabinet. I'm talking to Ian. Are you looking into the crystal ball? And Ian, if you have not yet seen, okay, what that's all about. I mean, here, look, Ian. Are you looking into the crystal ball right now, Ian? And if you are, is this coming straight out of the crystal ball? I gotta know. I gotta know because that's a bold prediction. A very bold prediction. He's basically saying Steelers D, they get 3 takeaways. And Mason has 2 TDs, Joe. Joe, talk to me on that with 2 Ds. Can you even see that possible coming?
Yeah, I can. It is a bold prediction, but I agree with him because I do think the Steelers defense is good. Too bad he's not on the team anymore, but Shazier in Madden is literally the best user you can use. He's so good. But I like Devin Bush. Yeah, I think they get some takeaways.
I think it's going to be a close game. I really do think it's going to be a close game. This game, I got to admit, guys, the game kind of bores me. Ian's coming back and saying, is saying the crystal ball is saying so. So, hey.
He's talking to him.
Ian, I appreciate your enthusiasm 100%, pal. I got the Bengals winning this game and getting their first win. An upset to you Pittsburgh Steelers fans. So I know how that must feel. Right? No hard feelings. I apologized already. I said I'm sorry. And when I give you an apology, say sorry, I mean it. I mean it. Joe, you and Ian agreed on this one.
Yeah.
You guys agreed. Fine.
Yeah, we agree. Yep.
So, Joe, your takeaway. I want to get your takeaway on the game that's going to put you on the edge of your seat and that you're most looking forward to this week, and probably going to be texting me
Yeah, I
back
will.
and forth. It's going to be such
Yeah.
a good game. The game that's going to be so good. The best game, Joe.
I think the Patriots-Bills game. I'm really excited to watch it because that's the upset. That's the upset I picked. And I really hope they take down the Patriots. That's the game I'm most excited to be watching.
Great game. I think it's going to be an exciting game to watch too, and it's going to be exhilarating, I think. And look, we both picked Joe. Do you realize we both picked the Buffalo Bills to the
Yeah.
Patriots?
Hey, well, our upset pick was correct last week.
You did. You did
So-
that. Minds think alike. Ian said, I am going for my most exciting game of the week is watching the Detroit Lions at Ford Field with their fans taking it extremely personal that they're the quietest, lamest fans in the NFL. Okay? And they're taking it personal. And they're going to beat up on Kansas City Chiefs at home at Ford Field. That's my pick for the most exciting game. It's going to be fun to watch, Joe.
Yeah, this one's going to be fun to watch. That's a bold prediction, but I'm excited to watch that one as well.
Checking before we leave, anybody on Facebook or any of our other places of interest that you guys may be watching this, we have what do we have? We've got Facebook on 2 different places we're streaming. We're streaming to Lipa Live. We're streaming to Sports Static. We have a live stream going on YouTube of Lipa Live channel on YouTube. Everybody knows Lipa Live is the host. It's the one that hired Sports Static to be here. So thank you to Lipa Live on picking up our show, Sports Static. If you missed anything, guys, you can always go back. Every show, go back and watch each show. Like if you came on late, you can watch whatever was the last show to be streamed. You can watch it in its entirety on LipaLive.com, where you can also find a lot of other cool things going on. So guys, thanking again Lipa Live, LipaLive.com, our host, and we thank you very much for picking up our show, Sports Static, and we're happy to stream here week in and week out. So guys, a lot of places for you to catch the show. Ian, before we go, we're going to catch what you said here. 3 great games: Bills versus New England, Detroit versus KC, and Monday Night Football. Yep. And to be fair, Ian, the only reason you're saying Monday Night Football is a good game is because you're a diehard Steelers fan. So again, I appreciate your enthusiasm. The other 2, yes, great game, and yes, great minds do think alike. In closing, Joe, for this Sunday football program here at Sports Static.
In closing, I'm going to say Bills beat the Patriots, the Bucks get destroyed, and Ian, the Steelers get their first win.
I like it. And that is a good one in closing. Guys, I'm going to close the show making sure everybody does us the big favor. If you have not yet subscribed to our host, Lipa Live on YouTube, please go to Lipa Live on YouTube and subscribe, because, hey, that's part of what makes the show go round and round. Like us, guys. Go to LipaLive.com, okay, and register. You can be part of the show, and I mean a direct part. You get fast lined into the show when you do that. LipaLive.com/register. You see the register tab, you register, you are immediately involved, and you're fast streamed into the show. So guys, do that. Now we're looking forward to you doing that. From Lipa Live Sports and the co-host, Lipa Live Sports, our host Lipa Live, from Sports Static, from our fans back to the fans and back at you, from co-host Joe over here. Joe, from co-host Joe, send it back to them. And from Sports Static, guys, tune into the next show, 7:30 p.m. Sunday at Sports Static. We're looking forward to every one of you guys tuning into that. Until next time, guys, enjoy your Sunday football. Peace out. Enjoy your Sunday football.